I passed the AZ-104 in 4 weeks. And looking back, I could have passed it faster. Not studying harder, not by watching more videos, by building these 5 projects while I was studying instead of after. I've coached hundreds of IT professionals into 6-figure cloud roles. I hold professional architect certifications across AWS, Azure, and GCP. And the single biggest gap I see in how engineers prepare for AZ-104 is that they study theory and never touch the platform until the exam has already exposed the weakness. These are 5 projects that fix that. They're built around the 5 domains the AZ-104 actually tests. Not courses, not flashcards, real deployments in a real Azure environment that force you to make the exact decisions the exam is going to ask you about. And every single one of them can be built in a free Azure account. No credit card charges, no billing surprises, just sign up and start building. Let's get into it. Here's the problem with most AZ-104 study patterns. You watch Stefan Merrick's course, you understand virtual machines conceptually, you understand networking conceptually, you understand storage conceptually. Then you sit a practice exam on Tutorials Dojo and you see a scenario question. You're an Azure administrator and your company needs to restrict access to a storage account so only resources within a specific virtual network can reach it. And you freeze. Not because you didn't study storage, not because you didn't study networking, because you never had to connect these 2 concepts together in a real environment. This is what projects do. They force you to make decisions across multiple services simultaneously, which is exactly what the exam tests. When you've already deployed a storage account with a private endpoint, configured the VNet integration, and watched the access control work, that practice exam question is not a knowledge test anymore. It's a recall test. And recall is significantly faster and more reliable than reasoning under pressure. Here's how I think about the difference. Studying without building makes you good at recognizing correct answers when you see them. Building while studying makes you good at generating correct answers before you see the options. The AZ-104 has enough trick questions that recognition is not sufficient. 2 answer choices will look correct. The one that's actually correct is the one that reflects how the services actually behave when you configure it. You only know that if you've configured it. Project 1, virtual machines and RBAC. Deploy a virtual machine and secure it with role-based access control. What you build? A virtual machine in Azure with a specific VM size, operating system, and region. An Entra ID user with a custom RBAC role assignment scoped to that VM. An Azure policy assignment that enforces a tagging requirement on all resources in the resource group. An encryption configuration using Azure Disk Encryption. A cost alert set at a specific spend threshold. Why this matters for the exam? RBAC, Azure policy, and cost management are heavily weighted in the AZ-104. Deploying them together, rather than reading about them separately, builds the mental model for how they interact in a real administrative environment. The exam will give you a scenario, then ask you which RBAC role grants the minimum access required. That question is easy if you've already configured custom RBAC roles in the portal. It's a guessing exercise if you haven't. The cost alert component is worth noting specifically. Cost management questions appear in the AZ-104 and most candidates never think to study them because they don't feel like infrastructure. Setting a budget alert and seeing it in the portal, knowing where it lives, what triggers it, and how to configure the threshold takes 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes are worth 2 to 3 correct answers on exam day. Project 2, virtual networks and storage. Deploy a secure storage account and connect it to a virtual network. What you build? A virtual network with 2 subnets, one for resources, one for private endpoints. A network security group with inbound and outbound rules that restrict traffic to what is explicitly allowed. A storage account with public access disabled and a private endpoint that connects it to the virtual network. An ARM template that automates the redeployment of the entire environment. Why this matters for the exam? Private endpoints and network security groups are consistently among the highest difficulty questions in AZ-104 practice exams. Most candidates understand them conceptually. Few have actually deployed a private endpoint, disabled public access on a storage account, and confirmed that a resource inside the VNet can reach the storage account while a resource outside cannot. When you've done that, the question answers itself. The ARM template component is equally important. Infrastructure as code is on the exam. Understanding how a template works and why you would use one instead of deploying manually requires having used one. Project 3, monitoring, backup, and recovery. Set up monitoring and backup for the environment you built in projects 1 and 2. What you built? An Azure monitor alert rule that fires when CPU on the virtual machine crosses a defined threshold. A log analytics workspace connected to the VM with diagnostic settings enabled. A Custo query language query that surfaces a specific operational signal from the logs. Azure backup configured for the VM with a recovery services vault, a backup policy, and a verified restore point. Why this matters for the exam? Monitoring and backup questions catch candidates who studied Azure but never operated it. The difference between Azure Monitor and Log Analytics, when to use each, how they connect, and what each one surfaces is consistently misunderstood by candidates who only read about it. Writing a KQL query, even a simple one, anchors your understanding of how log data is structured and queried in a way that reading a description never does. The backup and recovery section tests your ability to configure a recovery point and understand restore options. Set it up once, initiate a test restore. That 30-minute exercise is worth more than an hour of flashcards on the same topic. One thing that catches candidates off guard in the monitoring section, the difference between a metric alert and a log alert. Metric alerts fire based on a numeric measurement, CPU percentage, memory usage, disk IOPS. Log alerts fire based on a query result, a specific event in the log data that matches a condition you define. The exam tests whether you know which type to use in a given scenario. Configure both in this project. The distinction becomes obvious the moment you see both creation flows side by side. By the way, if you want more project ideas beyond these 5, I've put together a 3-hour course covering the complete cloud engineering build. You can check it out right here. Project 4, Entra ID and Identity Management. This is the project that most AZ 104 candidates skip, and it's the reason Entra ID questions cost them points on exam day. What you build? An Azure Entra ID tenant with multiple users and groups, a conditional access policy that requires multi-factor authentication for a specific application, a privileged identity management configuration that requires approval for elevated role activation, an access review that periodically validates whether users still need their assigned permissions, a sign-in log review that identifies a specific authentication event. Why this matters for the exam? Entra ID is weighted more heavily in AZ 104 than most study resources suggest. Conditional access, MFA configuration, and PIM are all fair game, and they're not intuitive to engineers whose backgrounds is primarily infrastructure. The access review concept specifically, who can create one, what it does, and when it's required, appears in scenario questions that trip up candidates who memorize the definition but never configured the feature. Build this project. Spend time in Entra ID portal. Click through the conditional access policy creation. The exam questions about identity will stop feeling like a foreign territory. The PIM section is worth extra attention. Privileged identity management, just-in-time access, activation approval workflows, and the distinction between eligible and active assignments is consistently one of the most missed topic areas in AZ 104 mock exams. Not because it's technically complex, because most candidates read a paragraph about it and move on without ever seeing the configuration interface. Enable PIM on a test roll, set up an activation requirement, walk through the approval flow. The exam questions about PIM become straightforward the moment you've seen the workflow in practice. Project 5, Azure App Service and Autoscaling. Deploy a web application using Azure App Service and configure it for production readiness. What you build? An app service plan with a defined SKU and region. A web application deployed from a GitHub repository using app service deployment slots, one production slot, one staging slot. A swap operation between staging and production that demonstrates zero downtime deployment. An autoscaling rule that adds instances when CPU exceeds a threshold and removes them when it drops below another. A backup configuration with a retention policy. Why this matters for the exam? App service and deployment slots appear regularly in AZ 104 scenario questions, and they are consistently underweighted in how candidates prepare. The deployment slot question the exam asks is not what is a deployment slot? It's what action do you take to push a tested staging deployment into production with no downtime? The answer is obvious if you've performed a slot swap. It requires inference if you've only read about it. Autoscaling configuration follows the same pattern. The exam gives you a scenario. The application experiences traffic spikes every weekday morning at 9 a.m. and asks you to identify the correct scaling rule. Configure a scheduled autoscaling rule once, and that question takes 10 seconds to answer. The slot swap is also worth a specific note because it surprises most candidates. The exam doesn't just ask what a deployment slot is. It asks what happens to the settings when you perform a swap. Some settings are slot specific. They stay with the slot. Other settings are swapped with the application. That distinction, which settings follow the swap and which do not, is the exact kind of detail that only becomes clear when you perform the swap yourself and observe what changes. Build this project. Perform the swap. Watch what happens. The exam question becomes trivial. Don't build these projects after you finish studying. Build them alongside the study material. When you finish the virtual machines module, build project 1. When you finish the networking module, build project 2. When you finish the monitoring module, build project 3. When you finish the identity module, build project 4. When you finish the app service module, build project 5. That sequence means by the time you reach your practice exams, you've already deployed every major service category the exam covers. The practice exam becomes a confirmation of what you already know, not discovery of what you missed. When I passed the AZ 104 in 4 weeks, I did it with Tutorial Dojo's practice exams. The method was right. The study time was 4 weeks. If I had built these 5 projects alongside the course modules, the practice exam scores would have only been higher. The weak areas would have been obvious sooner. The gap closing work would have been faster. 4 weeks becomes 2. Not because the material is easier, because the knowledge is deeper from the moment you first encounter it. All 5 projects run on a free Azure account. No cost, no excuses. Open the account and start building the same day you start the course. If you want to build these projects alongside engineers who are already doing it, the link in the description will take you to our free community. As always, see you in the next one.